Here's the big question.
How are agents like us,
who didn't get an opportunity to invest in a franchise early,
who are spending time and money to sell homes,
building someone else's saleable asset?
How do we grow a business but still build wealth?
Have an exit strategy,
and get a piece of the pie that's not dependent
on us working more hours and every weekend?
That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer.
My name is Jay Kinder.
My name is Al Stasek.
And I'm Michael Reese. We are your hosts, and welcome to the One Big Fire Podcast.
What's up? What's up? I hate it when the music stops, man. I just want the music to keep going, like maybe just fade into the background. You like my shirt, by the way?
Oh, look at that!
The land.
I like that shirt. Was that
what's up, man?
Did I give you that one?
You sure did. Yes, you sure did.
I just lose track because I think I gave you like half a wardrobe.
Yeah, my whole family has got Cleveland wardrobe for life, actually.
Hey,
so much love. Cheers. Hey, cheers to that. Yep, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So here we are in a spirited discussion with spirits, as usual. And what I wanted to talk about tonight was, man, I've had literally the craziest week of like super amazing conversations with a lot of really, really impressive agents and people that are moving over. And I think there's just you feel Big Mo. If you don't know who Big Mo is momentum. And Big Mo is on our side right now. There's just no question about it. Being here, you a little bit more than 3 years, me a little bit under 3 years. I have not felt anything like what it feels like right now, hands down.
Yeah.
And so, I just wanted to kind of discuss. And I made a little list of the top 4 things. I think most people have no idea how it's going to affect the growth of this company. But I think they're the 4 biggest catalysts of growth for eXp between now and the end of the year and all the way through 2021. So just kind of wanted to talk through some of that with you, homie. What you think?
I'd love to. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that we're about to come into October here, and the beginning of October 3 years ago was the first what was the eXp Con, and it was in Fort Lauderdale. It was a small room. There wasn't a whole lot of people in that room.
No,
and it was kind of cool because I was listening to Brent Gove and Gene Frederick. Just the other day, Brent put out that really cool video where he interviewed Gene, Big Poppy, and said that, every time they would get together for their annual conference, Gene would say, "Hey, look around the room right now. You'll never see this few people in the room again." And he's been spot on right about everything. It's been so much fun. But having said that, our first year, it was tough. It was that first year where there were still a lot of people that didn't know what we were about or looked at it as a big threat. There was the big, a lot of the chatter that was going on with some of our competitors, and opinion. It was all over Inman, and Gary Keller had his 2 cents to say about us, and pretty much everyone else did as well. And a lot of FUD going around, and that FUD has now been squashed.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, the BS that was flying around, you can't say it anymore. We're just shy of a $3 billion company at this point, growing at an incredible rate. And I'm looking forward to just outlining some of the new things, the 4 reasons why we believe. I mean, in 2021, I believe by 2021 we'll be over 40,000 agents. And just to think, when we first looked at it, there's only 4,000 agents when I joined. When you joined, it was like at 5,000. And we just really have not slowed down. It's just now picking up exponentially.
Right.
And you know a little something about exponential growth.
Yes, I do. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we do know a little bit about exponential growth. In fact, let me point something out. I had a conversation with James Massey the other day, and he had me on back-to-back calls with really solid agents, and always appreciate those kinds of conversations. But what's up, Nick Kren? What's up, Beth? See, we got a few people jumping in. What's up, Daniel Broderick? John Woody Hill, how you doing, buddy? And we had this conversation, and he actually did the math, right? And so you guys know the story of HOA, one of the mentors that we used to have. Mike and I both paid him like $4,500 a month. HOA stood for Harold's Old Ass, but Harold's Old Ass was really a brilliant man. I mean, he was probably the most brilliant person I've ever met. Honestly, he was just a wicked smart dude. But he always used to say, just every time we'd say, when you start talking about anything, he'd be like, let's do the math. Let's do the math. Let's do the math. Like, he gets all animated about it. Let's do the math. Well, you think, no, let's do the math. And so, like, I mean, he trained me to do the math. And so if you understand growth, you know, when we used to do the Exponential Growth Summit, you know, our whole thing was, how do you have, you know, just ridiculous kind of growth curve in your real estate business? We help a lot of people do that. And it's only this is the thing about doubling your business. You want to double your business, it's only 5.95% growth compounded monthly. So it's not as big of a thing as you think. It's just making little incremental things that you do every month, and then compound upon those things, doing the right things in the right order. And you can double in 12 months. We can help anybody do that. But it's only 5.95% growth. And so now let's take that same conversation. Let's apply that to eXp. And I can't speak for the company's actual growth rate. I don't have those numbers in front of me. I'm not trying to speak for the company, but I can say for our group within the company, I do know those numbers. And so this month, there's our group, my personal group, which is, you know, you're it's part of your group, and you've got an extra level above me, and Mike's got a level below me. So, you know, but my group's just crossed 3,900, and there's 340 something agents that joined in the last 12 months. And so when you see that kind of growth, that's almost 10%. So you do the math, you know, what's the growth rate of our group is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. It's something I've never seen.
That's 10% month over month as well.
Right. 10% month over month, which, you know, our brains don't know how to do compound math. But if you put this in Excel and you say, hey, what does 10% growth monthly look like with 3,900 agents? And what does that look like in 12 months? It's going to double in about 6 months, between 6 and 7 months. So that's a ridiculous indicator of significant growth, at least within our own group. So that's one thing that I see. And that's a real, like, right now kind of metric, right? Like, it's the last 30 days, I see the number of agents that have been onboarded. And it wasn't always like that. So it wasn't always growing like that. It's been averaging about 6% for our group. And then COVID hit, and we had a little dip for about 4 months where it was average about 2 or 3. But, like, all in all, it's been averaging 6+. So it's been doubling every year. That's been the agent count in our group's been doubling every year. That's where we've been. But now we're at 10%. And I've not seen that in the month of August, September, going into the, you know, the end of the year. So that's some significant growth. But I think there's some key things that really are going to drive the growth of this company that most people have not thought about. Like, they're just not thinking about this. They don't understand what's driving growth and what really some of the mechanisms are for why this company is doing so well and why we're going to continue to grow. And so I wanted to hammer on some of those and discuss them. So.
Yeah, and I think that what a lot of people think is, you know, well, it's just they got, you know, this revenue share thing, and everybody's out there recruiting people, this and that. And the truth of the math, when we want to talk about doing the math, is that might be one of the here's the thing: it didn't make the top 4 list, I don't believe. You know, I mean, actually, you have a list, maybe it did, but less than 95% of the agents at eXp Realty aren't not here because of the revenue share opportunity. We kind of wish they were, but that's just the truth. And the reason we know that is, even if they may be here for it, they're not out recruiting agents. They're out selling lots and lots of homes.
Right.
You know, the number of sales is continuously just keep growing and breaking records. Our profitability just keeps going up. In fact, what we heard through a grapevine is that August was our most productive and profitable month of the company's history, and it's just going to keep on keeping on, especially with the latest growth numbers that you said just in your organization alone, over 300 agents just joined, right, in the last 30 days.
In the last 30 days, 350, almost 350.
Mine was showing like 250,
right?
Whatever. And so, you know, when you compound that on top of Mike's. We are bringing on, and we are focused on bringing on, productive brokers and agents all around the country. And now soon, I mean, I have a call tomorrow at 9:30 with a Portugal agent who is actually with Remax.
Perfect.
Yes. Yep. With Michael Valdez, our friend Michael Valdez. And so now we're about to go overseas. So that's super exciting.
Well, now that you said that, I'm going to give us the number one reason, and this is just because I want to get it out of the way, because I think the other ones are this one's a little bit more obvious. So the number one reason, I will say this is the number. Let me debate this. The number 4 reason. We'll count them down. They're not in any particular order, but I want to give a little bit of a countdown here. So
There we go.
gotta type it in the banner so I can add it to the banner.
There we go. Jim Lambright, what's up, my friend? eXp is the future of real estate. Yes, it is. And the future is right now, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So
here it is. And come on. Where'd it go?
I blow it.
No. There it is. Number 4. Countdown. Number 4. International growth. You hit it. You have a call. Portugal, we're opening up. I think the goal is 7 or 8 different countries before the end of the year. I do know that in one of those countries, we're hitting the ground running with a lot of agents. And I don't know what I can and can't say as far as that kind of stuff. But it seems to me that we have the right guy at the helm for international growth. And so the amount of countries that you're opening up and the initial, this pent up demand for people that want to join this company because they get it. They already have done the math and they know that this is where they want to be and they want to help grow in a new country. That's a huge catalyst for growth. It's growth in areas that it's not, not the same as where we're at today. So we know that that's going to be a big catalyst. And who knows? I don't know how many agents that means, but I do know that when you open up a whole bunch of countries, you're going to get a whole bunch more agents. And so that's the number for it. Did I spell international right? Okay, I was about to say, sure. I was like typing too fast, be like spelling words wrong, spelling stuff wrong. There's no spell checker in here. All right. So that's number 4, right? So we brought in the best of the best and Michael Valdez to head up international expansion, and we have plans that are in place to hit that many countries opening up. Pretty exciting. So that's definitely one of them. So all right. So now let's talk.
Just let everyone know who Michael Valdez is, because many people he's one of these guys that's just an absolute rock star, but kind of probably behind the curtain. But if you're familiar with a little company called Realogy, and a lot of people watching don't know. I mean, Realogy is not a public-facing brand, but they happen to own Century 21, Caldwell Banker, Corcoran Group. What else? ERA. They own what's the Sotheby's? I think they own about 6 different brands. So they're an international company. And this gentleman, Michael Valdez, was their international growth VP and opened up a lot of countries, knows exactly how to open these countries up. He was in talks with many of the top real estate companies in the world before he left Realogy and came to eXp. And he said specifically that he came to eXp for one reason. It's just a better model. And that model can be tweaked and it can be changed dependent upon, from country to country, because real estate's done different in Portugal, right? It's done different in France, and it's done different in the UK than it is in the US.
Right.
We are able to pivot and tweak the model with being able to still keep the revenue share, still keep the stock, which the stock is one of the main reasons why a lot of these agents, they see the alignment, they see the opportunity to own a slice of the pie versus that old top down, only the people that got in early get equity in the company, and and then all the agents below work their tails off to make all of the money for the people that own the sellable asset, right? And so that's all been disrupted,
right?
And what what do you think? Someone else said something, and I'm just gonna go there. I was watching this video about this guy going off about Trump today.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is the adversity that we got prior to this. If you want to kind of compare it to the adversity that Trump got, and Trump's a disruptor, and I'm not saying we compare Trump to eXp, but when a disruptor comes into the market, you are going to hit brick walls. You're going to hit adversity. It isn't going to be easy. I'll tell you, the first year we came aboard, it was not easy. Yeah. We hit lots of brick walls, lots of adversity. And now fast forward to today, we have more people in our, revenue share family than we're at the entire company 3 years ago.
Right. That's a
number
great
one.
point, dude. Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's incredible.
Number two, Michael Valdez has opened 5 countries. He's going to have 5 more countries open by the end of this year, before the end of the calendar year. And he hasn't left the U.S. soil. He hasn't had to get on a plane. And he told me that his last year in Realogy, he clocked over, I think he said 200 days in travel on planes, traveling all over the world, servicing all of the franchises that he was helping to open in all these countries and servicing them in that. Imagine being on a plane, 200 days out of the 365 days.
No, I've done it.
Right. Well, I know you have.
I did it 1 year, man. No, spank you. I'm out. That's not the move. Thank you for cloud-based company.
Yes. So I think it's just all now. And of course, this pandemic probably actually, puts a lot of things in perspective. Mm-hmm. One of the abilities that we're able to go international, which is your number 4, is because we're cloud-based. Right. Is because no one has to go into these countries and sell somebody a franchise for, $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, and sell them on that idea.
Right.
We're able to be nimble, move quickly. And so, yes.
I want to highlight something you said there too in the beginning, like the challenges, right? And so, like, I just respect the fact that I saw a little bit. I didn't see it all. There's people that were here before us that I give mad love and mad props to, because it had to have been really hard whenever a company's just starting to get its grip and you're trying to get agents paid on time, and that's a challenge. That's a season for a company like this that they had to go through. And the people that have been here before us, they went through it and they stayed in the pocket, right? Yeah. Really hard to do. And then when we joined, the challenge was managing the growth. Onboarding was a nightmare. Some of the people that joined, we had some of the right people at the right times, but not the right people to get us to the next level. And so we had to go through some leadership changes. And like, it's fun when you're not involved in those meetings and you don't have to be, the ones making those decisions. And, thank God for Jason Gessing and Glenn Sanford and their ability to be agile and to replace people that were the good people to get you to 1,000 agents, but not the same people you need to get you to 10,000 agents. That is internally, like watching from the outside, how this company has operated and how agile they've been and how they've got the right people in, moved them, shuffled them around, get them in the right spots. And the key leaders that they continue to bring on and give them the ability to do what they need to do their jobs. I just freaking love that. And it really is, it's super impressive, because you could have screwed this up real quickly with the wrong kind of leadership and the wrong kind of people. We wouldn't be here where we're at. And that's something that I had to give a ton of credit to the leadership in this company for making the right people decisions and doing the right things that are necessary to be able to move past, and move around some of the obstacles that we've had as we tried to manage. It's like trying to keep the wheels between the ditches. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're growing this fast, it's like let's just keep the rocket ship going. Like it's always in the ditch, get it over back in the road. Like that's just what it's got to feel like every day. There's just more problems. There's nothing but problems when you're growing this fast, and so it is fascinating to watch.
Wasn't it Jim? Was it Jim Collins who said it's about the who before the what?
yeah.
And here, I'll cheer. Let's do double cheers. I want to give first cheers to the early adopters, and I'm talking.
Yeah.
I mean, you could call us early, but they were way earlier than us. When the stock.
When you joined this company, if your stock was less than $1, you are an early adopter.
Yes.
You are way earlier.
And you're a multimillionaire.
Right. And congratulations for that. Right.
Because they stuck around.
Right.
And this company made a lot of people, very, very wealthy. And it's because they stuck around and they believed in the vision that Glenn had before it came to fruition. When we jumped on, the wheels were still somewhat on the track at that point. We were already publicly traded, even though it was $3.
It was a penny stock.
$3.
That's what the competition was saying. We're a penny stock. It's not going to.
We were a penny stock. $3.40. What's the big deal with that? I was buying it my first month at $2.60 a share.
Right.
Big deal, right? And so, cheers to them, and then cheers to our leadership who were able to. When you just said that, it reminded me of the book that you recommended, and I've read it like at least 3 times, called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. Mm-hmm. Having to make really hard decisions is one of the best character traits of a great CEO or founder, with like Glenn and Jason, and being able to recognize that leadership. And I can tell you this, I can say this with 1000% certainty: the leadership team that we have, not just with Michael Valdez, but with Dave Kennard and all the rest of our the presidents of the company and vice presidents, and Chris Bear and everyone, we have the best leadership team that this company has ever seen.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Right now.
Unbelievable.
So absolutely. So what's number 3, my friend? I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna like number 3. Hang on, I gotta move. I'm running the controls back here. So let me back out to where's my little
while he's doing that, I would suggest anyone listening to this broadcast now, this would be a great piece to forward. Go ahead and hit the share button on in the Messenger and send this to a couple agents that need to hear it.
Yep. Amen.
We love them all, and we love especially agents who want to grow. That's who we're interested in. We're interested in talking to agents who want to grow their business, not someone who wants to come hang their license and do nothing.
Right. We're looking for people who are looking for us. Wants to grow. If you're not interested in growth and you don't have an abundance mindset, stay where you're at. We're looking for the people that are looking for us.
Well, look at that.
How about this? So this is a different spin, right? Like, this is a new one. Like, I don't think anybody knows that I was about to say this. So, company support on growth, and this is a big deal. Okay, a big deal. And we have not just us, not just our group. I have nothing but mad love for the group we have, because I think I am biased. I believe we the baddest group of people that there is in the company. I'm just going to say that. That being said, Honey Badgers, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Cheers to the Honey Badgers. So that being said, there's equally been more people that are just as badass as our group that are throughout the entire company that aren't in our group. And so, I mean, I could name drop after name drop after name drop after name drop after name drop of amazing people. However, we've all been somewhat, this is not to be critical, but I'm just going to speak some real talk. We've been somewhat on an island when it comes to growth, how we organize and get our teams to grow, the systems and processes we use, the events, how it's talked about within the company, whether, and again, historically, because there was this dark shadow over eXp of, oh, we're just an MLM. We're just like Philip Williams was. They were the MLM of real estate. And that's the way people try to talk about us, because we have a comp plan that has such a huge opportunity for growth. By the way, I'm going to explain why that is so people understand it, because most people don't. But we had a comp plan that is multiple tiered, which is how network marketing companies grow. And if people understand what network marketing is, it's a methodology for how you bring a product to market. And so it's through word of mouth. Okay. So when you think about eXp, I have to explain it now, so I can't not explain it. So the way franchises grow, if you think about the Realogy brands, the Remaxes, the Keller Williams, the way they grow is they sell somebody a region or a few people a region. That region, and they might pay $500,000 plus or minus for that region. That's a lot of money for the opportunity to go help sell franchisees and help them build bricks and mortar and recruit agents. And then they're going to pay royalties, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% up to the top. And then ownership shares in that royalty revenue share with that region. That's the opportunity in real estate. If somebody doesn't buy that opportunity, then franchises don't get built and companies don't grow. That's the mechanism.
Would you even say that before eXp, probably the best opportunity was to own a region? Oh,
I believe so, because I understand that revenue share off the top of anything is the best deal you could ever get. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me, like, if you're successful in building a region and within a franchise, you got paid off the top. There's no question about what you're going to get. You're going to get the volume play off the top. It's the best deal you could ask for. It's the Mr. Wonderful deal on Shark Tank. So that's the deal of the century. You cannot lose when you're getting paid off the top. So, that's a big deal. Now, when you introduce a disruptive technology that removes the bricks and mortar, you also remove the need for having a regional anything or having a franchise that has a territory. You actually also removed your actual growth mechanism. Okay, so the way that those companies all grew was because someone bought an opportunity. And in eXp, what Glenn did that was brilliant, and if I remember the post right, Glenn said, we're going to make this opportunity so big for agents that the right people are going to join this company and they're going to help us grow it. And what he meant by that was we're going to make a compensation plan where the only way that this company grows is the agents who tell other agents, who tell other agents, who tell other agents. That's the only, everyone's going to have the same opportunity as someone who bought a $500,000 region at Keller Williams or Remax or Coldwell or Citrus One. The same opportunity to grow and help this company grow. Yeah. He just passed on the opportunity to us as agents. And if you want to try to tell me that that's some kind of pyramid scheme or that's some kind of network marketing, no, you guys got people. That is ignorance, is what that is.
Let's think about it like this. Okay, let's look at both of those growth models that you just described. There's the first one, the traditional way, and what happens in that franchise model is they have to hire somebody. It's either called an office manager, or sometimes it's the person who owns the franchise. Right. Or in other models, they call it the team leader. And their number one priority and job is to recruit real estate agents. They don't necessarily always care who they are, whatever, as long as they're producing, they got the license, recruit. That's the name of the game, right? And it's coming from usually maybe one or two people in a particular franchise or office, right? That's where the effort's coming from, one or two people.
Right.
And the rest of the agents in that office don't really have any control over who's joining that company. People could be bad people. Now, imagine our model.
Right.
New model, where let's bring all of our friends. Now you have a group of people, and they're all bringing people that they already know, like, trust, love. They already have maybe a friendship or a relationship with them. Who do you think is going to have the more cohesive culture? Well, my guess is, and we're experiencing this right now.
You see the comment from our fearless leader?
No, what was it?
Right here, it's on the. Can you see on the page? I don't know. I can't remember if you can see what I see.
Glenn
Sanford. We want our value proposition of eXp to be so good that it would be irresponsible to hang your license anywhere else. That's our fearless leader. That's our founder, Glenn Sanford. And thank you, Glenn. Cheers to you and what you've built. And it's been a blast to be a part of this. And I look forward to the future, man. I can't wait to see where we take this thing. So awesome. Said, thanks for tuning in. Yeah. And then here's my cuz. What's up, Casey? What's up, cuz? He just reached out. So
and Glenn, we believe that wholeheartedly. That statement right there, that it would be financially irresponsible to hang your license anywhere else. I fully believe that. And if I did not believe that, and if Jay Kinder did not believe that, and if Curtis Johnson didn't believe that, or Daniel Beer, or any of these big producers, Kyle Whistle, we can keep going on and on, Chuck Fazio, then we would still have our own independent brokerages and teams or wherever we were, which we can go do tomorrow.
Right.
But it would be financially irresponsible for us to do that.
Yep.
And we believe not just for brokers and team leaders, that this is the best place for you to grow your business, whether you're an agent that's just getting started trying to get to your first 5 transactions or 20.
I can't wait to share the number one reason, because I'm telling you, like, people don't get it. They don't understand what's happening right now. It's incredible. So what's up, Gerbeck?
Hey, Mike,
Mr. PR.
Puerto Rico coming.
Yeah, we'll be there soon, my friend. We will be there soon. So, all right. So this is. Oh, I'm on number 3. I'm on number 3. Okay, yeah. 3. So I got two more. But my number 1, I'm really excited about. So the company support on growth, and this is what I mean by this. So, we are a real estate company that sells real estate first, and so as when we're up and coming, and we were getting a lot of pressure on the model of what was making us grow. A lot of the I'm going to say builders, the people that were focused on helping build the company, they saw that opportunity and they were focused on it, which was us as well. We aren't selling real estate. We're helping other people sell real estate, and we're helping grow the company. And so that was our focus, but there wasn't a lot of support around systems and processes to manage the growth. And what Dave Knord has been pushing for, and he has actually executed on in a big way, that hasn't happened yet, but it's happening, is the systems for the company to help us get the right people in the room that need to be around each other, that are focused on growth and those experiences, and places to bring your key people that need to come to events and need to see other people doing extremely well inside this company, and be able to hear it from 2 or 3 people. And those things are the reasons why some of the top people in this company are here. And we know it because as a coaching and training organization, what did we do? We did events. So we did these events on our own, and we were trying to scramble and put these deals together and spending a ton of money to try to make those things happen. And Brent Gove has been doing a great job of doing those things. But the company just recently got behind it. And that is a game changer. And it's a bigger game changer than anybody ever is probably going to understand. But when you have the company consistently putting together events the agents that are doing well with agent attraction are getting recognized and get to come to and get to be sitting in the room with someone who's making X amount of dollars a month. I'm not going to say because y'all won't believe it, but when you get to come and see that, you can't unsee it. And my whole entire life, the things that have been the most memorable to me have been, I'll never forget Mike Reese. When we were building our company, Mike went down and he visited Alex Sharfin's office. And Alex Sharfin had just started CDPE. Anybody remember CDPE? Alex is a good friend of ours, super brilliant guy, just an amazing guy. And he was just opening his arms to us and saying, hey, come down and see my office. And at the time they were doing probably 12 to 15 million in revenue, something like that. And we were probably 5 million in revenue. And Mike calls me up. He says, I would have walked to Austin on broken glass, barefooted, to see what I got to see when I got there. Because once I saw what it looks like, I know how we can build it, right? Like he saw something that he knew what it looked like, what we were trying to do ourselves in terms of building a company. And so that's the thing. When you can get people to come and say, listen, you're going to talk yourself out of it. You're not going to believe that you can do what's possible within this company's business model, but trust me, it's possible. Get here and take a look for yourself. Look with your own 2 eyes and talk to people and ask questions. And when you can do that, and there's a system and a company behind the growth of the company, we were out here doing it willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do events regardless of if the company's going to do events. That's how we roll. But not everybody can do that. The entire company is going to benefit from being able to get their influencers and get the right people to get in the right rooms. There's some assistance now around growth. That's a big deal. For those of you that don't understand that, it's a huge deal for the company. So I wanted to mention that because number one, I'm appreciative that Dave Kennord, I'm sure he's been stomping his feet for it. You know what I'm saying? And it's, and they're on board with it. The company's on board with it. It's great. It's just great. So love that. All right, so let's see here. So, do you have anything else to say on that, just from your perspective, or
you touched on it now, and you had mentioned is that it wasn't before. Imagine that we got to where we're at right now, and I'm not saying that the company didn't support growth early on. What we're saying is that now there's a push for it, and they really never pushed. I mean, they were always there to support us. They had influencer thing, gatherings and stuff like that to support us. But now there's actually a concerted push. And now the company's pushing with us. Whereas before I think they just, Glenn gave us the vehicle and we were driving that thing. We're driving it up every mountain, every state, flying here, flying there, really putting these events on our own dime, maybe hoping we'd break even. Most of the time we didn't. It didn't matter to us because we were focused on one thing. Let's connect with the people that need us. Let's find the people. Let's make sure that the people that need to hear this message, that they hear it. Now we have jet fuel behind our efforts. And so now just imagine. And so I just wanted to put some context to that and a bow on it. But what's number 2?
All right. So I didn't save it, so I got to type again. So.
Drum roll.
All right. So here it is. Number 2. This is something. Well, dadgummit. Okay, here it goes. There it goes. Boom. Now we got it. Boom.
Ooh.
All right. Listen.
That's juicy.
So franchise agreements that are ending and indies. I put and indies because I didn't want to type a whole bunch more. So what's happening right now is the validation of the model is unquestionable. Like we talked about before, you could have said it's not sustainable. You could say that for a little while and people might listen. And so there's been the majority of people that think they understand this business model. They don't. And they've been listening to other people say things, and it's a penny stock. You don't want to do that. That stock's not worth anything. Now you're looking at those people now going, you were advising me, and now I see the stock. When I joined, it was $3.61. You said it was $2 something. Now it's 41 something or whatever. But it's a penny stock now. Really? Is that you really telling me that? You're my team leader, and you're going to tell me now that that's what it is? It's a penny stock? Because it doesn't look like a penny stock. It looks like if I'd have been there, I'd have made a bunch of money in the stock. Is what it looks like.
It is. It's 40,000 pennies a share.
Right. So it's just, we're validating the model. So it's just it's there's no more room for the naysayers to try to say that it's not going to be sustainable. And that's an ignorant statement. And I mean, when I say ignorant, I don't mean that you're an ignorant person. I just mean you just don't understand. You don't know. And what we do, honestly, and like this, so everything is like, here's what agent attraction is: basically education and informing. Educate and inform. Nobody understands the business model. This is like saying, you know what a UFO looks like? You know what it looks like? You know how many seats are in the cockpit? You don't know. You've never seen a UFO. You don't understand this business model because you've never seen anything like it. So like when we start, the human brain tries to align something to like, oh, I know what that is. Oh, that's just like this, or that's just like that. And so that's how people try to justify that. Oh, I don't need to dig any deeper. It's just like one of these things. And that's the reason why they don't actually know. They don't do the research themselves. Nobody wants to watch an hour-long video or a 30-minute long video to do the deep dive to truly evaluate what this company is. And so, and plus, our competition is they're just bewildered and lost as to try to how to compete with us because they cannot. And so that's the thing. And so I've been working with, we just brought on a former Century 21 franchise that's moving over this week. Even my dad, of all people, I didn't know if he was, I never tried to, I've never tried to sell eXp. You know what I mean? It's like, you either come to me or you're either interested or you're not. If you think we could help you, if you think, we could be stronger together than apart, then I'm interested in talking to you. But if you're not, I'm cool. And so I ain't trying to sell my dad anything. I've been in business with my dad before. It doesn't work out very good. So I ain't trying to sell him on nothing. But he's like, he was coming to me talking about it. And I'm like, oh, Dad, you calling me about moving to eXp? I'm like, when's your Coldwell Banker agreement up? It must be coming up pretty soon, huh? And so, yeah, it was. And so, but there's all these conversations that are happening where people have been on the sidelines. They've been stuck in these, let me tell you, really, really crappy franchise agreements. You think you own the franchise, and you're wrong. They own you. That's how that works. You're stuck like Chuck, and you're paying them royalties on everything. And so, and it never ends. And so, like,
can we just have better Homes and Gardens?
Huh?
Who did you and John Kitchens go up and see for their launch? Did she have a?
No, it's ERA.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
we just yeah. So like, this is super real. Like right now, we've been talking for at least. Since we joined. She was in the mastermind. She's been in an agreement with ERA and couldn't go nowhere for 3 years. She sat on the sidelines going, I want to join, but I can't. And that's happening all across the country right now. And really, it's been the last 3 years are the biggest 3 years because there's been people that are like, oh man, I get that model, but man, I'm stuck. But a year goes by, 2 years go by. They're just more excited now than they ever been. They're coming out of the woodwork, and those agreements are coming due. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not gonna get into, there's people doing all kinds of things to try to get out of it. But
the other part of it is the indies, which was us. Our entire mastermind group went from either, working as a Remax team or a Coldwell Banker team or a lot and moved in, or Keller Williams, Remax, whatever it was. And we all slowly kind of migrated and opened our own independent brokerage. You and Mike had yours. I had my own up in Cleveland, and dozens of our masterminds we all ended up going independent. And I remember, Jay, 3 years ago when I came over and we did our little mini launch, if you will. And I remember I screenshotted a couple. I was getting screenshots sent to me on private Facebook groups that were part of brokerages, private Facebook groups. And I remember the one, I will never forget it. And I loved it. I laughed so hard. And it was this guy commenting, and he's like, looks like Stasic couldn't hang in the independent world. He went ahead and folded and brought his company to this company called eXp or whatever. And it's funny to look back at those comments. I probably got at least 3 or 4 of those. And it's just funny because I got friends in all these brokerages.
Right.
I can't see any of these comments because they're behind the wall of the private group, but they were screenshotting and then sending them to me. And I was literally on a phone with someone else just the other day and kind of reminiscing on that. And what I did and what you and Mike did with your Dallas company, what dozens of us did, what Andrew Gaydosh did, we can go on, is we upgraded. We upgraded our platform from the independent. Look, there's nothing wrong with any of those platforms. The independent, if eXp wasn't around, we'd be independent right now. I'm confident of that.
Yeah,
right.
There's in our minds there was nothing better than that before eXp.
Right, but we upgraded our platform that enabled us to lift the lid off of our localized real estate company. And it's not to say that you can't go big. I mean, look, you got a company, you have a couple unicorns out there like Howard Hanna. Howard Hanna is an independent company. They've gone into numerous markets, numerous states, and they did that by buying most of it, not organically, but by buying other real estate companies. Most of them were mom and pop, small independents, boutiques that didn't have an end game, and they weren't getting any. They weren't going to really be able to sell to anybody else. So, Howard Hanna's got deep pockets. They scooped them up. They're able to go. That's a unicorn story right there. You just don't see that beyond a franchise model, because that's if you wanted to grow multi-state, that's what you do.
Right. But who are the people that sold to those? I'm chewing my arm off to talk about what I believe is going to happen to these folks, right? Because I understand, because I know how they operate, and I know their business models, and I know the value that they bring to the agent, and it's not there. I'm not saying there's no value, but I'm not speaking of Howard Hanna or any other end of these small companies individually, but I will say that the agreements that I've seen that they have with agents they're like prison sentences. You can't get out. You want to leave, you lose everything. You get 100% of the commission. If you happen to become successful at some of these companies, when you try to leave, the thing you signed when you joined that you don't remember because you didn't have $30,000 worth of commissions lined up to get paid this month goes back to the company. You make nothing. You have to walk away from that if you decide to leave. And let me tell you something. That's not a company that's trying to help you. That's a company that's trying to rape you. They're trying to keep you there with what we call golden handcuffs. And if it's so difficult for you to leave, then you'll have to stay. I talked to an agent just literally this week, and she said, I did a commission advance of $5,000, and the company I'm at has an agreement. And she sent me later. I said, how much do you think you're going to have to pay? She said, if you leave within 2 years, I'm going to have to pay him a whole bunch of money. I said, well, how much money are you going to have to pay him? I was like, how much money would you have to pay him? You borrowed $5,000 and you paid it back. What if you leave now? What the hell does it matter? She said, I said, send me the agreement. I said, I want to send it to my own attorney just to have it reviewed and see if it's even legal. Like I don't like people getting taken advantage of. She would have to pay $80,000 if she left this company, even though she borrowed $5,000, paid it back, if she leaves within 2 years. That was in this agreement. I've never seen anything like that. And so she had to stay where she was at. She couldn't leave. She stuck for 2 more years. And I said, let me tell you something. I don't care. I'm still going to help you. I still want you to get in my calendar. I'm going to coach you. I'm going to help you grow your business. And in 2 years, you're going to leave, and we're going to take everybody from that company we can. Make sure everybody that you talk to understands what they're signing when they sign it, and be cognizant of what's happening around your business. I mean, it's a business. You have to understand those things. And so just, that was, but I'm still going to help her. I felt sorry for her. Like, you're getting stuck because, early in your career, did a commission advance. No, man, that's so wrong. But that's how these companies, that's how they operate. The only reason they're able to have any margin is they're sucking the blood out of the agents that are just trying to make it, man. They're just trying to get successful, like get to the point where I know I'm going to be able to stay in this business and I don't have to go back to a job somewhere else. And that's just, they're just feeding off of the people that we can help. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, it just pisses me off.
I think that a lot of the brokers are on, they're on that same treadmill, a little bit of a different treadmill. The agents on, a lot of these top producing agents like you and I were on that transaction treadmill. And I think that these broker franchise owners and the broker owners and even the independents, they're on a treadmill too. It's just a little bit of a different treadmill. And if they hop off of it, that money's going to stop. And even if they sell their business for, we looked at it, the multiple is 1.5 times EBITDA, which means you may get paid 1.5 times whatever your profit is on an annual basis. And guess what? In a year or two later, you have no more company. And now there's no more income. You may have gotten it up front. So I think that some of these people might be vulnerable that sign these agreements. They're in a bad financial position at the moment. This is a nice, hey, someone throws them a life, a life preserver or whatever, and says, "Hey, here's $50,000. Let me help you out," because these companies do have some deep pockets. But ultimately, they'll have them sign a 10-year agreement, trap them, or if they buy them out, the money's gone. And then how are you supposed to sail off into the sunset and live a decent life after you've busted your ass investing time, money, blood, sweat, tears into this company that now someone else owns, and you're left with really pennies. So you're an independent broker. Give us a call.
For real.
Talk to you.
I mean, I've had so many great calls in the last 2 weeks. It's just like one after another. They're not just all with me. Like they're with key leaders in the group, and one of them is in a marketplace that I'd be excited to really for us to get a big footprint in. And, and part of the conversation went to, it happened twice in the last 2 weeks, man. One of these dudes is a monster, and the other two are just as big. I mean, they're literally like, I haven't had these kinds of conversations this often. And they both have a little bit of ego, right? We all did. There's no question. Be like, whose name's on the sign out there? That's right. You know what I mean? Like, you have a little bit of ego when you build a company and so on, but you still have your own company. You still have the same LLC. You still have the same company. You could, if you wanted to sell it, you could still sell it within eXp's model. If you wanted to peel it out of eXp and take it independent or something and sell it, you still could. You would never do that once you're here. You would never do that. But it's still your brand. It's still your company, and it's still whatever you want it to be. Like, you're still building your legacy. Don't get confused here. When you join eXp, you're not cashing in your ownership of your company. You're keeping your company. It's still your company. You still have your same LLC or whatever you have entity you have. It's still going to be the same. The only difference is it's brokered by eXp, and you can have your same color schemes and everything else, and you're just going to be brokered by eXp. It's just like Intel. You can buy Microsoft, you can buy Dell, but it's powered by Intel. You're brokered by eXp. They're doing the back end work. They're taking all of the expense of trying to manage and deliver on the training and support and technology that a brokerage has to deliver to an independent broker to a group of agents to be successful. They're just doing all the stuff that you're not good at and you suck at and you're not wanting to do anyways. That's it. Like, once you get your mind around that, the ego of I'm giving up on something of mine. It's just a big difference, right? Like, we all had to do it. But
if there was one word, I would wrap up this number 2 point before we get to the exciting climax, would be as if you're a broker owner, whether it's a franchise indie, the one word you should be writing down right now is truth. And that's it. You should only want to know the truth. And that means being truthful about where you're at right now, what you really have and what you don't, and what this opportunity could mean for the next, if you're looking down, if you're staring down the last 10 years of your career and you're just not seeing the light, get the truth and come talk to one of us or,
dude, check your ego at the door, man. It's a long career. You know what I'm saying? It's a long career to end up. You don't want to spend another 10 years to realize that your ladder was up against the wrong wall. That's for sure. So let's go to the number one. I'm excited about number one. I guarantee, I don't think anybody in the entire eXp organization, except for maybe you or Mike and maybe Woods, could answer this next one. And that's because nobody, I think you already know. So this is fun. I love the fact that I didn't share it with you. I'm glad you at least are in half-ass agreement with what I came up with here. So which is not surprising, right? But so the number one, okay, here it is. It's key people in the organization that are perfecting agent productivity initiatives. Okay. And let me explain what I mean by this. So, and what we were doing prior to joining eXp was we had taken a stance in the industry and said, you know what? Nobody is focused on taking one agent and making them productive. And if you go and you look at agent productivity, I remember seeing like a Keller Williams quote, and they were like, agent productivity is up. And it was like something silly, like 3.8 transactions per agent or something like that annually. I'm like, and that's up? Like, that's not something you tweet, but they did. And I was like, that's ridiculous. And so I'm just like, this is, they're all recruiting models and it's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you just have to understand what it is. It is what it is. All of these companies are recruiting models. And what are they doing? They're all kind of thinking, like, we can recruit some agents, but if you're doing a lot of business, you're not going to come over here and pay me a bunch of money and give me any split. So there's no money for me to bring you over here to my company. So they're trying to recruit new agents into the business, get them to do a handful of deals, and then if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. That's been the industry as it is. And you may wonder, well, how come the NAR hasn't done anything about this? Why isn't NAR trying to raise the standard of agents? Why isn't NAR trying to help make sure the agents are more productive? And because they have 1 million plus voters. That's how NAR gets anything done, is the voters. So NAR can't have less agents, and they're not going to change. Their business model is to have 1 million voters. We have 1 million voters. How do you think we lobby to get things done so this industry stays in favor of us?
It's voters and fees too, Jay. I mean, the organization is able to survive on annual fees.
Right.
Whether they sell houses or not, they're paying their dues. They're able to grow and survive.
In 2016, I don't know who has read it or not. I'm not telling you it's the greatest read of all time, but it was 161 pages, and it was called the Danger Report. NAR actually commissioned Stefan Swanepoel to do a danger report for the industry based on a perspective for the MLSs, for the brokers, for the agents. What's the number one threats across the board? And if you go through and you read this, it's quite fascinating. But NAR basically said, hey, everybody, here's all the problems that we did this report. We commissioned someone to do this report. Here it is. Now y'all need to think about what y'all want to do to fix it. NAR didn't say, oh, hey, we're going to help you fix it. No, because why? Because they need the fees, they need the members, so they can have all the voters. And that's okay. So just understand the players in the game, right? Like this is not checkers, this is chess. And when you understand how things work, you understand that nobody is focused on agent productivity. Nobody. Because the more money you make, the more likely you are to leave and go somewhere else. Period. It doesn't matter what company you're at. When you start doing the math, if you're doing 100 deals, and I had a call today with an agent that's at a 100% shop, and if you asked her, I'm at 100%. You can't. I mean, why would I come join eXp and have an 80-20 split and a 16,000 cap? I don't understand. I said, do they charge a transaction fee where you're at? And she said, yeah. I said, well, how much is it? She said, $395. I said, let's do the math. I mean, just at 100 transactions. Her goal was 200 transactions. I said, you're going to pay so much money to that company. I said, it's math, right? Like, it's real simple. You're going to pay more. You pay 16,000. You'd be an icon agent. You get the 16,000 back in stock. This is a simple decision. Either you understand math or you don't. When are you going to make the move? Let's go. Right? Like, not to mention all the other benefits, right? And so, like, it's pretty simple. There's not a better place to be unless it's at eXp, but nobody's focused on agent productivity. I want to get back to the point. And so what most people don't realize right now is within this company, anybody who has brought agents into the company and is benefiting from this incredible opportunity of revenue share, they are probably 1 or 2 people away from getting paid a whole bunch more money. And the only way to make a whole bunch more money is for you to help agents sell more real estate. And that is a fascinating, fascinating problem that we are all focused on trying to solve. And I told Dave Kennord this. I said, Dave Kennord, I can tell you, I focused on a lot of things in my life. And the reason why, and let me just paint the picture so everybody understands. I'm at 40 now as of this last couple weeks. I hit 40 and then I dropped down to 39. I hit 40, and 40 is important. Why is 40 important? Because it means you get paid on all 7 levels. And if you understand how this works, agents who tell agents who tell agents who tell agents who tell agents, eventually at some point, your biggest level is your 7th level. And I don't know how in the heck Glenn knew this, but 40 is way harder to get to than I ever would have dreamed. And it's 40 producing agents, meaning you have to have, I have 79 agents, including 8 husband-wife teams, but 40 of them have closed a deal in the last 6 months. So that was really hard. But what happened, before this last couple of weeks, I have 1,000 agents, not quite, right at 1,000 agents on my 7th level. Now, I don't know how many deals they closed, but let's just assume that they may be closed 50 or 500. Like half of them sold a house. That's 50%. That's pretty good average for August, right? August sales. So that would be 500 transactions that I would have got revenue share on. Well, let's just say on average, it's $100. What's that worth to me, right? That's how now each one person to me, in my mind, is worth the amount of money I'm leaving on the table, okay? So me, Al, Mike Reese, Woods Davis, and every other agent in this company that has the ability to help agents produce deals because they have the skills that are required to do lead generation and convert deals and they know what they're doing. They have the chops to do that. What do you think we're focused on? More than we've ever been in our lives. We're focused on, how do I get an agent to close a deal next month, right now? How do I get a deal in your hands right now where you can close it? I've never been focused on that. I had a team. I wanted to help my agent. I've never been this motivated in my life to solve this problem. Yeah. To generate a higher quality lead. I've never, ever looked at it the way I'm looking at it today. And I said, I don't think this company understands what we're going to do for the real estate industry in terms of helping agents close more deals, because we're focused on solving a problem that this is what they're selling you guys, in case people don't realize this. Okay. So you think that Zillow's gone the furthest to try to create a higher quality lead, but they're also trying to sell you on the return on investment of that. So you pay a gosh darn whole lot more. Zillow's trying to sell you a referral fee, like on a referral fee up front. You guys realize that? They just get better and better and better at articulating the value of, hey, what's that worth? If I was to send you a buyer for $300,000, would you pay me a 40% referral? Oh yeah, I guess I would. Okay, well, here's what it's worth. The return on investment, if you spent $4,000 for this one lead that's gonna close, we're gonna send you 4 of them. What's that worth to you? They're articulating the value in a way that it's real hard for you to say, well, shoot, yeah, I guess I would pay $4,000 to make 16, right? They're getting better at it. But what are they doing? They're trying to produce a higher quality lead. Now, what I would argue with you is that I can help you get a deal for less than $4,000 a lead. And if you understood sales and marketing and you understood sales and marketing systems, and I could just do it for you, then I become very valuable to you, and you become very valuable to me. We have a winning solution. Okay, we all win together here. There's nobody that wins unless we all win together. And so, but we're sitting here working on these problems that no one's ever worked on this hard. A higher quality lead, a person that's really interested, somebody that's further along in the process, ready to close. Why? Because that could mean literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to several people in the company if we solve that problem for just a handful of agents. Well, then what happens? Yeah, we share it with everybody.
And the biggest reason, and this is what you and Mike taught me. We can go right down the line of all the top agents, in our organization, okay, who are helping people do this. And why aren't there more? It's because there's never really been a concerted push. The biggest push in education has never been marketing for real estate agents. It's always been, continuing education, law, all these other things, which are all important. Don't get me wrong. But there's never been a push to make real estate agents marketers first, who happen to be selling real estate, versus real estate agents who do marketing once in a while.
Right.
That chasm, if you will, is the biggest reason why the number one problem that we can help people do is solve the problem of where's my next transaction coming from.
Exactly.
It's from a coaching organization. I know you guys studied it upside down and sideways, because your number one thing was, how do I get more coaching clients when you had a coaching company? Ours was with appointments today. How do we get more clients that need an ISA? When we were supplying ISA services, when I was in business with Matt, we built that company out. It's the same problem to solve. Now we're able to do that. Jay Kinder, Mike Reese, myself, we're able to do that without asking you for your credit card. And that's really, really big. Why? It's because we can take an agent who maybe they're doing, 10, 12 transactions, which is great. That's fine. But they want to get to 24, but they don't have the money to stroke a $1,200 or $1,500 a month coaching fee.
100%.
For us, our average ticket for an agent that wanted to hire us was about $1,500 to $2,000 a month for our ISA services. It's almost impossible to afford that unless you're doing probably 20, 30 transactions.
Exactly.
But what about the agents out there that are stuck at doing 5, 10 transactions, and they're trying to get to 20 to 30? Well, they're left in the dust. Their broker or their team leader is supposed to be the ones that are going to help them do that, but they're busy recruiting other agents. They don't have time to help them and become an expert marketer. And they
have no clue how to do it.
Exactly.
No clue. If they did, they wouldn't be in the position they're in. That's the reality. It's incredible. It's just fun, man. In all honesty, I'm full of gratitude that the opportunity is what it is. and that we get to help people on a daily basis like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got Braden helping people with putting funnels in place, and it's not scalable right now. I can't scale it and provide it to everyone at eXp or even everyone in our group yet. But I'm just telling you, I'm telling you right now, mark my words. I'm not the only one focused on this. We're not the only ones focused on this. No. There's a lot of the most brilliant people in this company that are thinking the same way we are, which is agent productivity. How do we get agents closing more deals? How do we get agents closing more deals? How do we get them doing it faster? How do we train them faster? How do we get them face-to-face faster? How do we get them to close a deal faster? Get it under contract faster? I've never been focused on it like we are now. And the trickle down effect of that is we're gonna create things that haven't been created in the industry because of the upside was so big that we thought about it harder, and we're not trying to sell something in the middle of all this to try to get paid to pay for our ideas. It's just incredible the innovation that's happening around how to get clients and how that's going to trickle down to everyone. And that it's just cool, man. I mean, either you get it, man, or you don't. I don't know what you're doing if you're not eXp, but I hope that you pull your head out of the sand and take a closer look, because it really is fascinating what the opportunity here is, not just with what revenue share and this stock and this and the other, but like if you just really want to sell more real estate, come on, we can help you with that.
Yeah. Hey, and listen, if you know someone out there that needs help, share it with them. It's better than a Christmas present.
That's right. It is right? Way better.
Share button on this.
Yeah.
Give us up, man. Give us a few hearts, man. I appreciate you hopping on late, brother.
Yeah, man. You too. Good stuff. Hopefully this kind of just sheds a different angle on the light of what we see happening and what I predict is going to be tremendous growth in this company. I've never seen anything like it. And so I'm just excited to be on board. I appreciate everybody that's on the journey with us, everybody that's been supportive along the way. And like we always say, man, we'll either see you at the top or from the top.
From the top. Cheers.
Cheers, man.